10 power rankings. So number 10, I have the Miami down spot. Offense did great, defense did not. Offense with Hill, they did really, really well. Special teams also scoring. And Tyreek Hill and Jalen while open single time got sharp. Unfortunately, their defense was terrible. Justin Fields ran all day, and they almost lost the Bears. And offense starts off a great. They have to fix that defense because against Justin, not a great Bears offense. They did not do very well. And Miami's in top 10. Miami probably has a top 5 offense and probably a bottom 10 defense. Number 9, the New York Giants. They're on bye this week, and they do have a 6-2 record, but a lot of their games have been really close, and their team has not looked that good or that talented, but they still keep on winning. But they're a bye week. Number 8, you have the New York Jets back on this list. They beat the Bills. Their defense has been playing great. I said it before, and I say it again. They're a defensive team. Zach Wilson and their offense did just enough, but it was defense. They picked off Josh Allen twice, and the Jets, if they're going to win by their defense. Zach Wilson has to get better, though. He wasn't bad versus the Bills. He didn't make any mistakes. He wasn't great either. He was a game manager or slightly below that. But the Jets, their defense has been playing great in these last 5-6 games. Then number 7, I have the Seattle Seahawks not moving again, but they did have a very good win over the Cardinals. Geno Smith, he did throw a pick six, but then he came back and threw 2 touchdowns and clutched out near the end. Kenneth Walker, I think, to me, is the offensive rookie of the year. He's looking great. He's been very important to the Seahawks offense, and their offensive line has been playing better, and their defense, to me, has been a lot improving. I remember early on they had a terrible defense, and against the Cardinals, they slowed down Kyler Murray, and that's a good Cardinal offense, and they caused pressure on Murray. Their Seahawks defense, to me, has been getting a lot better. But it's their offense, Geno Smith having a great season, and Kenneth Walker, and DK obviously at Lockett. And to me, these Seahawks have been improving a lot since the season started. So I stopped them at 7 because their teams above them didn't really lose. Number 6, I have the Dallas Cowboys, who are also on bye, similar to the Jets. They're a defensive-led team with a slightly better offense, and they were on bye. Number 5, I have the Minnesota Vikings, another damn very close win against the Commanders. They're actually behind 10 early in the fourth quarter, and they came back. Kirk Cousins, he wasn't good for most of the game in the fourth quarter, but then he got in the fourth quarter he did a lot better overall. The Vikings, their offense can be explosive at times, but against the Commanders, they just weren't outside their first drive. They didn't score into the fourth quarter, and Vikings, to me, they're still very inconsistent. Their defense can be good at times, it can be bad at times. Their offense, when they're good, they're great, but when they're bad, they can go on a drought. The Vikings, even though they only have one loss, I can't put them higher because they haven't had any dominant win, and they're almost losing to not good opponents. So I still have them at number 5. Number 4, I have the Baltimore Ravens. A good win over the Saints. Just a good overall win when they didn't choke. Their offense started out slow, picked up near the end. Their defense played great. And the Ravens just a good overall win. Not a win to put them on top, but not a win to drop them. And overall, Lamar had a good game. Their offense, even though they're missing Bateman, they're still good. And their defense has played great. Number 3, I have the Buffalo Bills down one spot. They were not good against the Jets. Their offense was bad. Josh Allen threw 2 picks, and they couldn't move the ball. Josh Allen did get it down with his legs, but not enough. Their defense played all right, but near the end they couldn't clutch up, and they couldn't cause turnovers, and they couldn't win the game. But their offense, Josh Allen, he might have got injured, so I'm not sure how the Bills will do later on. But with Josh Allen playing not great, the rest of the team couldn't elevate. Okay, number 2, you have Kansas City Chiefs up one spot. Not a pretty win versus the Titans. Their offense could not get started at all until the final drive. Then still Mahomes had to run it, and their offense became very one-dimensional. Their defense though did get a lot better in the second half. First half they were getting burned by Derrick Henry, but the second half they did a lot better and slowed down the Titans, and they didn't allow Wills to pass. But their offense, Titans did a good job against their offense, and the Kansas City they still a very explosive offense. They just didn't really show it. And teams that dropped out, the Tennessee Titans, their defense played great. Like I said, they slowed down the Kansas City Chiefs and almost got them to win. However, their offense is even more one-dimensional. That's why I can't keep them in the top 10. It's a passing league now, and the Titans cannot pass. Now with Malik Willis and Ryan Tannehill not this season, and you can have a great defense and a great run game, but without a good passing quarterback, I can't put you in the top 10. And so they dropped out. Then there one at the Philadelphia Eagles, another good win over the Houston Texans. Definitely a lot closer than it should have been, but they kept on winning, and they definitely shows it. Okay, number 2, you have Kansas City Chiefs up one spot. Not a pretty win versus the Titans. Their offense could not get started at all until the final drive. Then still Mahomes had to run it, and their offense became very one-dimensional. Their defense though did get a lot better in the second half. First half they were getting burned by Derrick Henry, but the second half they did a lot better and slowed down the Titans, and they didn't allow Wills to pass. But their offense, Titans did a good job against their offense, and the Kansas City they still a very explosive offense. They just didn't really show it. And teams that dropped out, the Tennessee Titans, their defense looked great. Like I said, they slowed down the Kansas City Chiefs and almost got them to win. However, their offense is even more one-dimensional. That's why I can't keep them on the top 10. It's a passing league now, and the Titans cannot pass. Now with Malik Willis and Ryan Tannehill not this season, and you can have a great defense and a great run game, but without a good passing quarterback, I can't put you in the top 10. And so they dropped out. The other one at the Philadelphia Eagles, another good win over the Houston Texans. Definitely a lot closer than it should have been, but they kept on winning, and they definitely shows their team is very talented right now. Only undefeated team at 8-0, and even though it wasn't a great win over the Texans, their offense struggled for the first half. They still managed to get the win. There you have it, NFL Week 10 Power Ranking.